So yes guys, this happened Drew McIntyre's first pinfall loss on the main roster. So this was the most interesting thing on the show. So we will first talk about it and then we will do the review of the whole show. So this segment started off as the Drew McIntyre appreciation night, and Baron Corbin comes out and he plays that first he was nothing and then he became the Money in the Bank winner and became the championship caliber talent, and then he became the constable and then he became the general manager elected. Now he's going to become the permanent general manager. In the path he has destroyed the Shield, destroyed Braun Strowman, destroyed Kurt Angle, destroyed Finn Balor, etc. And there is one man who helped him achieve this, and his name is Drew McIntyre. Then Drew McIntyre comes out and Corbin handles him the gold medal and says that Kurt Angle was the original gold medalist but Drew McIntyre beat him, so Drew McIntyre is the new gold medalist. And then Drew McIntyre cuts a great promo saying that all other people are complacent, and when he looked at the Raw roster he saw people playing video games backstage and checking on their phones and retweeting the message of other fans on Twitter, which Drew McIntyre does too, but still it's great promo. It was greatly delivered by McIntyre. And then it made Dolph Ziggler come out, and McIntyre actually says that he has achieved that alone and stuff, and Dolph Ziggler comes out and he says that we both achieved this because and we both dominated the division. You were the muscle, I was the brain, and where was I in your video package, and you didn't mention me. So McIntyre says that he actually used Dolph and he was actually the muscle and the brain of the team. And then McIntyre says that he made Dolph relevant again in his 10-year-old career, which pissed Dolph off, and then he hit a zigzag on McIntyre, but Corbin made the match, and then we got Ziggler versus McIntyre as of then, and it was a kind of going good match, and McIntyre was beating the crap out of Ziggler. And then Balor comes out to distract McIntyre, and it was still going pretty good. Ziggler had some few comebacks, but McIntyre was dominating the whole match. And then they went outside and McIntyre was still beating up Ziggler, and then he threw Ziggler in the ring. And then Balor just hit a shotgun dropkick on McIntyre. Then McIntyre came back in the ring at the count of 9 and Ziggler hit a super kick for the win. So this is Drew McIntyre's first pinfall loss on the main roster. He actually lost to Seth Rollins, where he was counted out one time. So did I hate it? I kind of hate it, but not as much as some people hated it, because it was still kind of a distraction, and maybe Drew McIntyre just goes ballistic on Finn Balor come TLC. So yes guys, this was the most interesting stuff of the night, and then let's move on to the whole review of the show, whole play-by-play review of the show. So yes, the first segment was Ronda Rousey and Natalya versus Tamina and Nia Jax, and Tamina and Nia Jax just started to beat up Ronda Rousey, and then Riot Squad comes out and they just threw Natalya through a table using a power bomb and super kick combo, which actually looked pretty good, and it didn't look like a sloppy bump that some women take. And I'm not being a sexist here, they actually take some sloppy bumps. So then Ronda Rousey got beaten up by both of them, and then she met Natalya backstage, and Natalya was said that she should find a partner, and then she made some angry faces. And then Alexa Bliss came out for the moment of bliss, and she said some stuff that Bayley and Sasha needs to come out, and they basically did the same segment they did last week again this week. And they were like, if they would like to disappear, the first thing on the planet, they would like Alexa Bliss to disappear and all that stuff, comedy crap. And then it led to Banks and Bayley versus Alicia Fox and Mickey James, and Banks and Bayley won via backstabber into a Bayley to belly. So yes, it was basically a nothing match, and it led to nothing. There was a talk of women's tag team titles during this segment, but I don't think it will happen anytime soon. And even if it happens, I know Nia Jax and Tamina are going to be the first ever tag team champions. So yeah, next up we got ourselves something great. Just kidding. We got ourselves Lucha House Party versus Scott Dawson in a 3-on-1 handicap match, and this is babyfaces who are in the advantage here. My god, I mean, Raw was awful throughout the weeks after Survivor Series. This one was actually kind of better than the other 2 episodes, but still not good at all. So as the Lucha House Party won by a squash because it was 3-on-1. So when are we getting a 10-minute match between Revival and Lucha House Party? That is a 2-on-2 match, a tag team match, classic tag team match. It will be a very good match because both teams are actually good, and I think this will lead to a revival face turn with the way they are going. I don't know, man. So next up we got ourselves the Drew McIntyre Appreciation Night, and then Dolph Ziggler versus Drew McIntyre, and then we got ourselves Elias coming out, and Elias was like saying that Bobby Lashley is crap and all that stuff. He's kind of face. It was a kind of good promo, and he was starting to sing, but then Bobby Lashley and Leo Rush come out, and Bobby Lashley was pointing at his ass, and Leo Rush was just saying, "Oh, Lashley looks like money, smells like money, tastes like money." So yes, they started to talk crap, and Leo Rush cuts an annoying promo again, and then Elias starts to chase them off, and he just pushes Lashley to the Titantron, and then he chases them off. And then Bobby Lashley and Leo Rush just left, and Finn Balor threw Leo Rush again to the ramp, and Elias just hit a guitar at the back of his head. It was good stuff. Why it was good stuff? Because at least it was not all about heel heat, and baby faces made a comeback, and baby faces stood tall. It was good stuff. It was good seeing baby faces working together and standing up against the heel, dastardly heel Baron Corbin and his goonies. So next up we got ourselves a backstage segment with Jinder Mahal and Baron Corbin, and Mahal says that he will take care of Finn Balor today, and Corbin says that it is a great idea, he should. And then he calls Heath Slater and Rhino, and he is saying that he crunched some numbers, which was funny because Vince Russo used to crunch the numbers because of the segments, and he rated some of them according to the ratings and then pushed the superstars according to them. So yes, and he said that there is only space for one guy on the Raw roster, and they will have to have a match against each other, and the one who loses the match is going to get fired, and the one who wins gets to keep his job. So yes, dastardly Baron Corbin, dastardly heel Baron Corbin doing the heel things again. I kinda liked it because it was not like the storylines weren't discontinuous, they were continuous, and it was not like the heel authority figures are doing good for some baby faces and doing bad for some baby faces. He is doing the bad stuff to all the baby faces and helping all the heels. So next up we got ourselves Baron Corbin backstage saying to Bobby Roode and Gable that if Bobby Roode beats Drake Maverick tonight, he will get a chance at the tag team championship along with Chad Gable. So yes, the match happens. Drake Maverick comes out scared, and Bobby Roode starts to beat him up. But then backstage, again, the AOP beats up Chad Gable, and Corbin again a dastardly heel. I liked it. I personally liked it. He says that, "What are you doing? Now go there, and you will have a. There's only one solution to it. This is going to be a 3-on-2 handicap match." And then they just come out, and Bobby Roode looked scared, and he just hit a glorious DDT on Maverick. But then AOP comes out and start to beat up Bobby Roode, and then Chad Gable comes back and makes his comeback. But then AOP were enough for them, and then they hit a super collider on Roode and Gable, and Drake Maverick says to tag him in, and he just pins up Roode and Gable. So yes, I kinda liked it because it was good stuff, and Baron Corbin as authority figure is doing injustice to all the baby faces and doing good for all the heels. It is good stuff. It isn't discontinuous. It is good for once. So next up we got ourselves some guys coming out with a gas mask on, and Michael Cole says that they are SWAT team, but then Dean Ambrose music hit, and he comes out wearing a mask, and he gets a good promo about Seth Rollins, that he is the only moral compass that in this roster, and he is the one who has some integrity left out of the Shield, and he said some stuff about you people are germs and stuff. Cuts a good promo. His delivery was good, but then again, this feud is very easy to book. This feud writes for itself, and Seth Rollins and Dean Ambrose have a long history. They could easily make the feud about something else, but they are making the feud about germs and stuff. So this makes Seth Rollins come out, his music hit, and the SWAT team, whatever they were, they go to the ramp, but then Rollins comes from the other side, hits one security to the LED post, and then clothesline one, then goes in the ring, throws Ambrose outside, and then starts to beat up the whole SWAT team, and power bombs one member of the SWAT team onto the whole team, and then suicide dives on another one. But then Ambrose tries to escape, but Rollins comes in and tries to beat him up, and then throws Ambrose inside of the ringside area and then starts to leap on him, but then Ambrose hits him up with the gas mask and then hits a dirty deeds on the floor, then throws him into the ring and hits another dirty deeds. So yes, this feud continues. Of course it will continue, and they will face for the Intercontinental Championship at TLC. It is not exciting me at all. I mean, yeah, it's good, but let's see what happens. I hope Ambrose doesn't win, and if he wins, he used some dastardly tactics. So yes, guys. Then Corey Graves asks Renee Young about it, but then Renee Young says that he shouldn't ask about her private matter and what's going on between a husband and a wife. Why are they acknowledging it? Because they haven't acknowledged they are living together since like day one. So why are they acknowledging it now? What happens behind the stage? It's just crap. So next up we got ourselves, what the heck, what do we got? Yes, Rhino versus Heath Slater, and this match was the retirement match, and Heath Slater won with a neck breaker in like 1 minute 15 seconds, and then he just went to backstage, and Rhino was just there looking shocked. And then Heath Slater says that to Baron Corbin he is happy that he continues to do his job, but he feels sorry about Rhino. And then says that now Heath Slater says now he got to fight for the Raw roster, but then Baron Corbin hands him a referee shirt and says that who says that you are going to be an active member of Raw roster, you are going to be a referee. So yes, Heath Slater is a referee. Some people hated it. I didn't hate it because I think it could lead to some good things. It could lead some interesting things. Heck, it could lead to some funny things because Heath Slater is a great comedian. His spot at the Royal Rumble where he wasn't allowed to get into the ring and then he eliminated Sheamus in like seconds was still one of my favorite spots for the Rumble. And yes, I loved it. So it could lead to some good things. Let's just hope it doesn't lead to something related to pee. So next up we got ourselves Finn Balor versus Jinder Mahal. It was a match. Finn Balor went for the coup de grace, but one Singh brother distracted the ref. Another one threw Finn Balor out. But then Apollo Crews comes out and he just started to beat up the Singh brothers. Mahal came out and he beat up Crews, but then Balor hits a tope suicida. No, he actually hit a top con heel and then throws Mahal inside and hit a coup de grace for the win. So yes, a good night for Finn Balor. A happy night for Finn Balor. Finally, he gets to make his comeback against the dastardly heels, and then some baby faces are trying to help each other, like Elias, Finn, and Apollo. And I think Bobby Roode and Chad Gable will be on their side too. It's good stuff. Good stuff. I kinda like this dynamic. So next up we got Ronda Rousey and Ember Moon versus Nia Jax and Tamina. This was just a match. Ronda Rousey and Ember Moon won. They looked great. Nia Jax is bad and Tamina was very awful in this match. She was like really bad in this match, and it was just there. The main event was just there. It wasn't good. It was bad actually, and yeah, it led to some. It didn't even led to something because it was just Nia Jax and Ronda Rousey facing each other before their pay-per-view match. I know in some sort of tag team action, but still it doesn't do anything for me. The whole feud doesn't do anything for me. So yes, I'm not looking forward to Nia Jax versus Ronda Rousey match, and I look forward to Ronda Rousey matches. I like her. So yes, guys, this was my Raw review. If you guys enjoyed it, please give it a like, share, and subscribe. I actually give Raw 5 out of 10 because I think it was better than the other episode coming after Survivor Series. So yes, guys, this was an okay show and this was an okay review. If you guys enjoyed it, please give it a like, share, and subscribe. And don't forget to comment in the comment section below. Thank you and have a cheerful day. So yes, guys, this happened.